So we have here 1.8. Usually I take out a calculator, but okay.
You could take one out.
Okay, so calculate first. So 1.8 times 0.18.
1.8
times 0.18.
0.324.
We're good. Now salt, so we're gonna use here your 13 grams on yours. I'm gonna use regular salt because it's what I got here, but you're better off using kosher salt.
Okay.
Because the melech gas, the regular salt usually has stuff added to it. What's it called? Iodine. And the kosher salt doesn't have anything. So do 13 times 1.8, 23.4, and then we'll add another 2 liters of water. So there will be another 40. So 23, so about 60 grams.
Okay, so again, so it's 13 for every kilo. Wait, so
she's using mahmoud, so that'll be 13.
Okay, and if we
per kilo, and then you also got to salt the water.
Okay, so
it's between 15 and 20 grams. The amount of salt in the water. Again, depending on how you like it, so it's hard to say exactly. Depends what you like.
So each kilo of water, or so every liter of water is
let's say
15 to 20.
15 to 20. Again, how much you like, you'll figure that out because really people have
okay, and the meat itself is
15.
50. Okay.
Meat means that no more than 50, and if you're going mahmoud,
better
go down to 13.
Less.
Not better shgachas, but
more expensive.
More expensive shgachas. Yes, exactly. More expensive shgachas. I've done Ada, and I went down as low as 11. It was I was like, whatever, insane. We'll go 60.
Just
my bad. Like I said, I know either way will be okay. So really, you should write this down. No, just for you to know for next time how much salt you had. That's the important part. Every time I do something, I write down exactly what I did, so I know for next time. Was it too much salt, too little? But really, a 1-2 gram difference could be, it could be the whole thing we need.
Sorry. So for mahmoud, what was it?
So we did for you 13 grams, a kilo, 25. No, that wouldn't be enough.
I don't know what you're saying.
No, they did 30. No, they did 35. So that's 17 grams in the water. 17 grams of salt in the water. Sugar is 20 grams across. That's easy. 20. So we said 1.8 plus 2. So 3.8 times 20.
76.
That would be about a third of a cup, if you were wondering. Now, don't be tempted to be like, oh, I'm gonna go low on sugar. We're healthy. And the sugar actually has effects here which are important during the brining. So you give up on the sugar at your own risk.
Here, Sharon? I don't give up on sugar.
I don't know, just not because
it's not about the flavor.
It's not about the flavor. Right? It's not like, oh, the meat will be sweet. It won't.
I mean,
you guys,
chemical reactions.
Right? Exactly. You guys had corned beef pastrami stuff like that before, so okay. Spices. Now this part actually doesn't matter that much. Like salt, sugar, nitrates has to be exact. Spices, you're cooking now. So we're gonna put about 5 bay leaves ish. We'll just put a whole lot of. Oh, it's not called allspice. That's what it's called.
Allspice?
Allspice. Yeah, I have cloves. This is not
full,
cloves.
full allspice,
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, you want to use, if you're wet brining, whole spices.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So next is black pepper.
Whole black pepper.
All black pepper. We'll put a tablespoon. Yeah, about a tablespoon of mustard seeds, coriander seeds, galinei kuzbala. We're going to put about 1.5 of these. Again, the exact amounts here are really not.
Have you done tests with things and you're like, this doesn't taste good, like, I don't know, lemon peel or hot peppers, and you're like, this
I mean, I could tell you what I don't like, but that doesn't mean anything about you.
Well, I don't know if it affected anything else. Like,
No. Flavors won't have it. It was just flavor. Nothing here is going to affect your...
Okay.
I mean, unless you're going very weird stuff. Also, in a minute, you'll see why not.
Okay.
I mean, I tried juniper berries. That's not for everyone. I tried, what else do I have here?
I know, like, again, citrus would just be like that.
Fennel is definitely not for everyone.
Yeah.
I've done that in a sausage. God, you know.
Yeah, that's a popular one.
And anise. I don't know if you guys ever tried that. I mean, the FDA literally put out a thing last week. If you're using anise, don't. No, just kidding.
Don't.
Anyways, it's but really, what I'm saying is personal. You know, you like it, you don't like it. You know.
But this works with everybody. Like
this one. Everyone likes
These are good
it.
spices.
Okay.
This is like, you know, going for more of a classic pastrami, unless you're from New York and then you like cinnamon. God,
For Sparta.
Oh, you're right, but I don't know. For some reason, New Yorkers like their cinnamon and the pastrami corned beef.
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, well, you might not know it was in there.
Well, right, that's true. Also, you just buy it.
You're eating corned beef unless you're.
Such a strong.
I know, but sometimes you don't. When there's a mixture of corned beef and it sits for a while,
You're not going to taste necessarily.
it's like, oh, corned beef. You know, there's the nitrites which give the flavor. You know, there's the whole thing. At that point, you really gotta yeah, but you know, you gotta be a professional to be like, you know, okay, what's in here? I met people like that, but you know, very few. Okay, now garlic flakes, I put a lot in.
Yeah.
I usually put, you know, I don't know. That seems like enough.
Yeah, it's good.
So the reason I use dry garlic because it's consistency.
Okay.
I know exactly it's going to be the exact same thing every time. You know, you buy garlics, you never know exactly what it is,
Strong,
what's not strong, weak, whatever. I know what I'm getting. Also, you don't gotta start dealing with the garlic, which you know.
Cleaning it up. And
Yeah, you know, I like consistency. I want to know I can repeat. Because theoretically, you can get, you know, even the bay leaves you can get fresh. You know, you can get, you know, almost all these spices you can get fresh, but no thanks. Okay, what we got to do now is make sure there is nothing evil in here, right? So what I usually do is I just pour boiling water and that's it.
Does the thing,
It
okay.
just does the thing this way. Salt and sugar dissolve, bacteria is dead. Then I add in ice because definitely do not want to pour in the hot mixture into the meat. We're not cooking the meat, which I didn't do here. So I don't have a smoker yet. Yeah, Hashem help us and we'll get one soon. But if you guys don't have the option to have a smoker or don't have one or not planning, and you do want the, you know, that beautiful smoked pastrami flavor, so just get liquid smoke. So when I make my salamis, I put some in there, and you get a beautiful without a smoker. You know, okay, you're not gonna have a smoker. You're gonna but flavor-wise, I mean that's the easy way to do
That's
it.
delicious, man. That smell.
So you put, so you go for about.
Smoked paprika is the other easier way.
So the easier way to do this is paprika, a smoked paprika.
That's why I put in chicken.
Right. So if you're doing, if you do a dry brine, smoked paprika works great. If you do a wet brine, I don't know if I would put smoked paprika. You know, you're putting powders in there and they're liquid and they don't dissolve.
They don't dissolve well, right? The powders don't dissolve so well.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know if I would do it.
So how much of that liquid smoke do you put in?
So we do about 2 teaspoons per kilo, but don't overdo it.
Yeah.
At least not at the beginning, because it becomes bitter. Liquid smoke gives a bitter note. So start at 2 teaspoons per kilo, and you need more. You'll add more. And it's a great thing to have because you just put it in any dishes. Like
Yeah,
you put
it's
it,
right.
you're just making yeah, exactly. No, you know, but you're making
sauce coffee.
yeah, you're making a, you know, any piece of meat for Shabbos. You put a few drops into the sauce, and you know,
It takes a whole different taste. Yeah.
and that smell. You know, you get that beautiful
it smells
smell.
great,
I mean,
yeah.
not everyone's a fan, but you know. I remember we lived in the French Hills some
When I
years
was
ago. We did
pregnant,
a
I was
barbecue.
not a fan of it.
No?
And some lady was complaining about the smells of the barbecue. She was a vegan. And I told her, you know, now you finally, your house smells good. You can invite some people over. But of course we didn't do it again because, you can't be mean. That's definitely,
It smells good.
Yeah.
It really does.
So you already know you're going in the right direction. Like, hey, I like that.
Yeah.
It's like,
Actually, you smell it? Can you smell it? Like all of a sudden, I got a whiff of it, and it was great.
Oh yeah, that's.
I'm sorry.
it's like corned beef is on the way.
Yeah, exactly.
Now let me bring some ice. So we said 2 liters of water. So I'm
So you just did another half a
So
liter.
that was a half a liter, so now we need another liter and a half.
Okay.
Well, the reason I'm using ice is to cool down the water. If you don't have ice at home, you can just use cold water.
Well, okay.
And
So this
It
has
just cools it down.
This has 2 liters of water for the 1.8 kilos.
Yeah.
It's supposed to have, so it has one.
Now,
half
the
a
reason I'm
liter of
using
the
2
hot water.
liters is really because that's what I decided. Like,
Okay.
it doesn't really matter how much you use.
Okay, fine.
You just need to have enough liquid to cover your meat.
Oh, nice.
So what you do is you almost seal the bag first.
Then you take out all the air.
What?
Then you take out all the air
Yeah.
slowly.
Yeah, you know exactly. Now we'll put it inside. Very important. Make sure it's in a bowl or a pot or something because
It might like leak out.
some of the bags sometimes leak and
You never
maybe
know.
someone moved something and poked it. The amount of
Yeah,
mess
you
you're gonna
never
have is just
Yeah.
Not worth it.
it's not worth it. I didn't say this, but you once the brining is done, you don't have to cook it right away. You could pull the meat out and freeze it.
Oh.
Okay.
Then you have corned beef for whenever you want it. Yeah, you don't feel like, oh, I gotta cook it now. It's not like, oh, I defrosted the meat, now I have to cook it. No.
So this was frozen. I defrosted it, made the brine, and it's totally okay to put it back in
Not
the
now.
freezer.
After it's
after the
already-
brining process. I'm saying,
I
and
do
get-
that all the time.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
All the
And
time.
then how do you cook it after, like, once it's, forget about the freezing, like, after you finish this, like, what temperature
It's a
do you usually
brisket.
put it?
What do I do? So like I said, so it depends if you're doing also, you want to serve it hot, you want to serve it sliced.
Yeah.
So that will make a difference. Generally speaking, I'm just a brisket. If I want to serve it hot, I would probably do it at 160 Celsius, maybe 150 for about 4 hours.
Yeah.
And if you want to serve it hot, if I want to serve it cold, I wouldn't go above 120 and go like, I don't know, a good 6 hours.
Okay.
And really, I would check out the tenderness of the meat. I would poke it, not the temperature, because that doesn't
Yeah,
matter. It's the
doesn't matter.
tenderness and something like that. And then you can slice it thin.
Oh, but this is
Wait
already
till it's
cold.
cold. Wait till
Yeah,
it's
for you,
cold to
you're
slice
going
it.
to what?
Wait till it cools to slice it.
Oh, right.
For
You
sure.
have to wait till it's, yeah, absolutely, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And you slice it against the brine, right? Not
Great,
so
always,
the brine, yeah.
always.
So you have to wait for it to cool down before you slice.
Yeah, for
What
sure.
was the temperature to cook it on?
So you should probably do 120 Celsius in the oven. Try for about 6
like
hours.
6 hours.
Wait, you cook it with
Maybe 8
without the
hours,
liquid.
depending on
Without,
exactly.
Without the liquid.
without the liquid.
Yeah,
With-
okay. Well, once we're done, you take the meat out of the liquid
Right.
and wash the meat off a little bit from the spices, whatever. Discard everything, obviously. Then that piece of meat, if you're gonna smoke it, then let it dry first.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
When you discard the liquid, when you
Yeah.
spill it out,
Yeah.
it's okay to spill it out in the
Yeah.
sink because of the nitrates and everything. It's fine.
No. Okay.
At that point, the
Great,
nitrates are
no,
gonna be-
very important question. So, two things. First of all, the nitrates actually get reduced over time and they disappear. So that's why, for example, we're not doing sausages today, but when I make salami, I can never cook salami the same day I make the farce because of the nitrates. But within 12 hours, the nitrates go down by 50% because they get. It's a half-life, but what happens, the way nitrate works, it connects with the fibers of the meat. Now, don't ask me exactly about the chemistry behind it, but so at that point, we're safe completely. Like, there is no issue. So, I mean, I wouldn't recommend to drink the water. I mean, I've seen crazy YouTube videos do all sorts of crazy things. Don't do that, no. But yeah, you just dump it, you're good, no issue. Then dry the meat, don't dry the meat. I mean, whatever. And yeah, probably 120 for a good 5-6 hours. Anyway, so what else do we need to know?
How long to leave it in the fridge?
How long to leave in the fridge? So, I prefer more than less because what happens is the nitrates go in gradually into the meat, right? And it goes from every direction because we have a liquid all around it. That's why some people also recommend to flip it and then nonsense.
It all points up.
Sure, you can do it if you want to, but
Well, I mean, this whole thing is like really covered nicely.
yeah,
So it really
exactly.
needs
This is what I'm saying. When you're doing a wet brine, forget it. Don't touch it. Just wait an extra day. The nitrates will reach there. You know, the spices will enter. So if you won't wait a long enough time, what happens? Some people think it's pretty. I think it looks horrendous. Is that after you cook it, it will be a spotted corned beef. You have like gray, red, pink. It'll be like like this weird thing which you wouldn't know until you're slicing it.
Right.
So that's
Right.
yeah. It happened to me a few times, and I was like, ugh.
So
I
what's
hate the way it won't affect the flavor. Just
right. It just doesn't look as appealing.
how-
So
how does
what's the
that
safe?
happen?
because the nitrate didn't reach
Oh, so
everywhere.
you don't want to get that.
Yeah.
So what's the safest amount
So
of
I
time
would
to
wait. So I say
2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
2-3 weeks.
I would again, depending on the amount of nitrate you use.
You have a bigger cut also.
Your cut is
It's pretty thick.
Pretty thick.
Yeah.
I would wait 2 weeks for sure. Erev Rosh Hashanah, take it out. What is it, Tuesday? Yeah, take it out in 2 weeks. Tuesday, take it out Tuesday, Wednesday. Should be fine.
But wait, more than 2 weeks is also okay? Like,
Up to 4 weeks, you're good. The nitrates protects against botulism for 4 weeks.
Okay.
So don't go over a month then, because then you need to use nitrate, which is number 2, which just don't. Because
If you need to, take out freezer. And you
yeah, right, if you need, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Now the good thing is sometimes I don't have time. After 2 weeks, so I'll leave it for another few days. Like, who cares?
right.
But it's not
A non-issue.
But okay, so let's say like the longer you keep it, let's say I decide not to cook it in 2 weeks, I want to do 3 weeks. Is the flavor more intense? Like,
No,
does it
no,
change the flavor?
no,
Doesn't
no,
do
no.
anything. It
Flavor-wise will be the one
It just
that
protects it. Like I can.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah, you could keep it 3 weeks. I've had pieces of meat 3.5 weeks.
Okay.
What's the minimum that you suggest? Because that's more.
So that depends on the thickness of the piece of meat.
Okay.
So it could even be, if you're going 200
And like
people,
briskets are thin.
well, depends on
Yeah.
first cut, second cut, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So you go for a thin cut, and then also how much ppm of nitrous you do. Are you doing 180, 200, or are you going up 250 or higher? Right, because that will also affect the time.
What? How? Meaning
The more nitrites, the less time.
Okay.
Now, the FDA, I read all over their regulations, and they have all sorts of different issues. They're like, 180 for this, 200 for that, up to 600 for that. I don't know. I believe in go safer rather than in 20 years be like, shit, we found something out that we should have known. So I usually don't go over 200, and so it takes me another day, and then 2 days, yeah. So, it's not a big issue. So, a thin piece of meat, even within 5 to 7 days.
So tongue is probably one of the thicker. Well, no,
Yeah, it is, but it's also
it's triangular.
Yeah, the shape it also comes into it, and for some reason tongue happens quicker than other pieces of meat.
It's like the chicken. The
Yeah,
chicken takes so
it's
long
like-
because it's very, very.
Right. So I'm just trying to think like meaning like the minimal time for a like that size. I'm just trying to think because generally speaking, I would not plan 3 weeks in advance. I'd plan 1 week. 2
Right.
weeks. That's what I'm trying to think of.
So I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's why I bought a big bucket, and
Yeah.
that's it. I made 20 kilo. I put it in the freezer. Whenever I want a corned beef, I have a corned beef or a pastrami, and I'm good. But you could start on Sunday.
Okay.
It'll be ready by Friday.
Okay.
So
So then
a lot of pieces of meat that would be enough.
Okay. Fine.
And you'll try out like it's the reason since you can freeze it afterwards. I a lot of times don't make it. Now it's Chagim, so I can do extra, right? Obviously.
Fat on your meat.
Absolutely.
You want it.
You want it.
The more fat, the better.
Well, yeah, up to a certain extent.
You don't want to use a lean meat at all.
You could.
I'm just curious,
It's,
based on the meats I have, because I have some meats that are like lean, and then some meats like this was a little bit on the fatty side.
Yeah.
Right. So fatty is definitely easier to work with. I've done lean pieces of meat, but I don't know.
Fat is flavor when it comes to the food because it literally has the meat things.
Especially if you're gonna slice meat thin, and when there's no fat, it's very dry.